album's called Have a Nice Life, and it's the biggest sounding album I've done. It's mostly produced by my friend Jessie Shatkin, who I grew up with. He recently co-wrote and co-produced Chandelier for Sia. And we grew up together, and we kind of went our separate ways musically. And for us to reunite for this record, I think it's perfect. Um, at this point, for Strange Music, one of my most visible records in years, and kind of my return to, like a big label pushing my album after the Warner Brothers album. I kind of did art for art's sake for a while, and I wasn't really attempting to compete for any space. But it's the biggest sound I have. Maybe a little poppy. And I feel like I've been through so much. I feel like as a man, I can finally do an album. I have something to say. I have so many life experiences to draw upon. We've adopted 2 kids. I've been married, and I've seen the world, and I've seen the world with my wife. And just so much has changed becoming a father and a husband. I feel like I have, sonically, I finally have a canvas that is me, someone that grew up that knows me and knows what I sound like. And I finally know myself through all the experiences I have, so coming into my own. Have a Nice Life is something I came up with. I started saying to people because it's the best way to say something nice to someone. It's also the best way to tell someone to fuck off. Like, it's just, it can go both ways. And I think the duality of who I am with, being an inner city kid that was in a different thing, there's always been, like, 2 sides to me. Like, and I think that it was the perfect title for this album because it's just, I wish the best for everybody, truly. Even if I don't like you, I love you, and have a nice life. And life is too short to hold on to anything, Just, it's the best way. It's the best thing to say to anyone, I feel like, without putting any negative vibes out there. Working with Jesse after all these years was amazing. Originally, we have a mutual friend named Kosha Dills, and he produced his album, and I was doing a verse for Kosha, and I said, you know what, Jesse, for the Strange record, I want you to produce it, because I started rapping in your mom's house. Like, it'd be perfect. Cool. And then a couple months later, I got off tour. I called him. He's like, yeah, I got time, but I'm kind of busy with the record going platinum. I was like, what record? What do you mean? And he told me, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, do you still even want to do this underground rap shit with me? And he's like, of course. So it was more for him. I think it's a break from being with, you know, super intense, ultra mega famous people trying to make a hit record and just hanging out. It was like we were hanging out every day, man. And for me, as someone hanging out with someone I've known for a long time, and which is rare for me these days. I don't get to hang out, So it was just, and with kids and with what I do for a living. So it was great, man. It was just like we had to build in an hour or so every day for just talking and catching up and bullshitting. Yeah, my goal was to make something for once. Going in, I never gone at music in my 20-something years of rapping, gone at it with the idea of, hey, I do want a Grammy. I do want to be on the radio. I do want to be mainstream. Like, I do want these things, and I want to do it on my terms, and it's possible. And with someone like Tech Nine leading the way, like he always says, the mainstream is going tech. He doesn't go mainstream. And it's kind of things like making the mainstream go strange. And I feel like with Macklemore and Kendrick, it's so wide now. You can, before being a kid from LA, you were either a gangster or you were the Far Side. Like, that was it. And now I feel like there's this whole lane. And amazingly enough, my friend is to me, one of the best prop producers out. So I have a canvas. It's not stretched. It's an organic thing. So hell yeah, I definitely am going after mainstream success. No More Control was a song that we did. It was the first song Jesse and I did, and it was kind of defining who I am. And the third verse was added on because I feel like um, the hip-hop community and even Black America on a whole is missing out on opportunity to drive home something that's bigger than race. Um, the culture of violence in our country is, really disconcerting. It's a tragic thing. And instead of getting someone from another race to march with you saying Black Lives Matter, I feel like it's an opportunity to say all lives matter. Like, hey, I thank you for identifying with our struggle, but hey, it's all of us here. Whether it's Connecticut and there's children dying and they're white, or people dying in the ghetto every day. It's not just about police brutality. It's bigger than that. We have a serious problem and an addiction almost to violence in America. And so I felt like that view wasn't being represented, and I just wanted to get that out there. Like, and I'm sick of, and No More Control is kind of also like a thing of the old saying of, he who angers you controls you. It's not about being angry. It's about really coming with solutions. To me, it's not about marching anymore. It's not about hashtags. It's just about being, you know, more kind and aware of the sick. We're sick. We're violent. I'm sick. Like, you know, I love UFC. I love wrestling. I like, you know, and we got to find a way to come to terms with that. No, probably not. I'm at a point in my life where being married and being a father, I do a lot of compromising at home. I don't want to. Being in a group and successful requires a lot of compromising. This is like hip hop has now become my man cave, where I go in, I do what the fuck I want when I want, and no more collaborations. But we text each other still. We're friends. We grew up together. They're friends with Jessie as well. Maybe a song or something here or there, but I don't see an album. I'm just looking at doing another record. Hopefully, you know, me and Jesse have songs that didn't make this album and I think are great. And I was going for a certain feel, so when I get off the road, I'm gonna go back in with him and just keep creating. And my friends Mayday, who do a lot of production, go back in with them. And you know, and anybody, I'm always working on being a better rapper. I feel like it's something I do every day. I'm writing every day. So yeah, the next thing would be the next album. Hopefully, get bigger and better. Yeah, and I don't know any other big projects coming. Just touring. The tour Tech Nine is a big deal for me.